Hello, YouTube. Uh, this is probably the dumbest video ever made. There's no point to making it. um, I have just been so freaking hooked on this game. Um, little backstory. I was watching Papa Meat or Meat Canyon. I think it was on his Papa Meat channel, but I was watching Meat Canyon, the like animator guy. Um, he did a live stream like a month ago, and I think like 4 months ago or something, where he played this game on stream. Sorry, and it just triggered the nostalgia, dude. I'm 31. If you're a millennial, you have odds are so good that you have played Oregon Trail at some point or the other. It used to just be like on like school computers back in the day. Um, if not this particular one, then the first or the third, the fifth, I don't know, whatever. Um, you have probably at least seen it. Um, Anywho, regardless, over this past week, I have done, I don't even know, dozens of playthroughs of this game. God, and it is just so addicting. I can't even tell you. So let's get into detail here. This is really all I want to talk about is just all the different levels to this game. It is just so fascinating. The actual like possibilities of outcomes is truly the scope of it is crazy. Um, so I guess let's start here, right? Difficulty. There are multiple options. I mean, really, the whole game is about scaling difficulty based on your decisions. But your position within your convoy, either Greenhorn, Adventurer, or Trail Guide. So if you're a Greenhorn, you are only responsible for like your wagon, and that's it. But if you choose Adventurer or Trail Guide, you are responsible for making decisions for the entire travel party. So basically, like if you come up to like a fork in the road, you will decide, do we go left or do we go right? Obviously all with their own pros and cons. That's really the whole game, is just choice making. It is decision making. Pros and cons, trail. um, so you also have a profession. Every profession comes with its own set of skills. Some don't have any of like these boxes checked. Commerce trade just gives you better prices. Oh, excuse me. Better prices like at stores and the potential for like better deals when trading. Medical. Sick and injured people are less likely to die. River work. Accidents less likely to occur when crossing rivers. Sharpshooting. More likely to kill animals with a single shot when hunting. You get the idea. Anywho, all with the goal, okay? By the way, I should have, for anybody that doesn't know, the whole point of the game is to set out from the east and settle out to the west, okay? Either, Oregon City, Rogue River Valley, or Sacramento Valley, Sacramento. What are the actual, like, options here? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Great Salt Lake City, the Rogue River Valley, yeah. You can also choose, right? Do we set out from like Independence, Missouri, or do we go all the way from Illinois? It's more miles, Obviously, it's another like state over than any of these three options. So what do you do, right? And what year? What time of year? What year itself? Generally, the earlier you leave, 1840. You only have these options, but 1840, it's just not as developed along the trail. So like there's less ferries that you can take across like big rivers. there's less like trading posts and forts like along the way for you to potentially resupply at. Um, so it's basically just hard mode. You know, going 1840 is hard mode, 1860 is easy mode. Regardless, there's also, as you can see, small, large, and Conestoga wagons. Conestoga. You gotta say it like that, right? Anyways, yeah, oh, that's right. That's something else about the professions, is your starting cash. So as you can see, the banker has a total of like $2,000, 1900, 100, 1925, 75, 1940, 60. Okay, great. The banker starts with like $2,000, and the further down you go, the less money you got. You got a total of 500 bucks if you're a teacher. 400 in Conestoga, rough. Also, I don't think they have any. Yeah, they don't even have any skills, bro. Teacher is literally hard mode. It's just like real life. Imagine that. So, anyways, yeah. Every wagon itself has like a different capacity, right? A small has a 3,000 pound capacity, large 4, Conestoga 5. So now there's pros and cons to every one of these as well, right? So if you have a small farm wagon, yeah, let's just go into town. Let's just see the other options here. So if you have a small, no thanks, go to hell. If you have a small wagon, right, you do have that lighter load capacity. However, you only need like, what, I think like 2 or 3, potentially 2 or 3 draft animals to pull it. So an important distinction to make here, right? So let's say, yeah, we're in a small. I think we can pull it with only like 3 or 4 horses. Horses obviously more expensive. So again, this is the whole game, is like pros and cons decision making. And this is the reason I wanted to make the video, is I just wanted to geek out about like just how many decisions there are to make. It's actually really interesting. So this is one of like your big decisions, though, obviously relating to, you know, the wagon itself, is how are you gonna pull it? Oxen, as you can see, only 11 bucks a piece. They're cheap, and oxen are generally like the most efficient. I think you could pull a small wagon with only like 2 of them. So if you wanted like just one for backup, 33 bucks could get you on the trail. You know what I mean? And oxen are generally like slower, but more rugged. You know, they won't travel as many miles in a day as like mules or horses. But you also don't need to feed them like hay or oats. They'll just graze, you know, while you're out on the trail. And they're less likely to get sick, I believe. Like, they're less likely to drink alkali water, and get, you know, dysentery or cholera or something. So mules, need to be fed. They need horseshoes. They need to be shoed. As with horses, and oxen, I think they're just generally like, they won't get hurt as often. They won't get injured, but horses are, yeah, they're likely to get injured. You need more of them to pull a wagon. Like, I think for even a small, we would need at least 2, probably 3 or 4. So we would have to spend, oh my god, total we can't even buy 4 of them, right? Or 330, 5. Yeah, we don't have enough money for 5 of them. 440 bucks. Anyways, so, you know, pros and cons, right? You have to weigh the cost and the weight of everything. Excuse me. Yeah, to your whole like loadout. So anyways, we have our small wagon. There are also wagons / parts. Yeah. You know, if you're going over like rough terrain, You need like spare wagon parts, axles, tongues, wheels, whatever. Otherwise, your wagon is just dead. It's stuck. Um, you can't move it. If one of the wheels breaks and you don't have any backups, you're screwed. You're not going anywhere. Um, which is it spells certain death, really, unless you can trade for a wheel. Anywho, um, yeah. So what the hell? What am I saying? Tools, utensils. I don't know. That's whatever. You guys could get the gist of it. I guess I'll go over. Yeah, there are tools and utensils that each have like passive benefits to them. Um, so like butcher knives, if you choose to like gather most of your food like while you're actually out on the trail through hunting, um, then first of all you're gonna need a rifle and you're gonna need gunpowder and you're gonna need ammunition, right? You have boxes of 20 bullets, 25-pound kegs of gunpowder, and a rifle itself, which they don't sell in this store, but regardless, um, you're going to need all those things in order to go hunting. And then once you can go hunting, a butcher knife just increases your efficiency of that. I think the actual benefit of it is like per animal killed, you can get more, or actually, not a butcher knife, but a hunting knife. Yeah, hunting knives. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, these will actually like allow you to get more meat per animal that you hunt. Um, which is just so cool. I don't know. That's whatever. That's the whole point that I'm trying to get across here is that I've been geeking out for a week over all of these little like just unwritten like I guess background mechanisms to the game that at face value you wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Um, you would assume like if you set out with like a Conestoga wagon, right? It has a weight capacity of 5,000 pounds, and let's say like you're a banker, you have two grand to work with, bro. You can just buy. You can load up, yeah, 668 pounds of bacon. Fucking do it, dude. For $30, why wouldn't I? Right? Um, but there's pros and cons to it, So when you are loaded up with like such a heavy wagon, um, you don't make as much progress per day, and your animals get exhausted quicker. They're more prone to injury and sickness. The actual like parts of the wagon, the wheels and tongues and everything, are more apt to break when they're under all that weight. Um, and actually getting the wagon over obstacles out on the trail uh, is less likely. You're more likely to, if you're trying to go up a hill, you're more likely to tip it over. If you're trying to get through a river, you're more likely to get it stuck. Just that sort of thing. Um, so sometimes less is more, sometimes more is less. You never know. Or, well, you never know until you try it. Which is how I've gotten so stuck on this game. I have just been having so much fun, like, just doing different playthroughs. So right now, like, I have one small farm wagon, right? Turns out there is a mechanic. You can also just get another wagon. Let's say I were to get another small farm wagon. Um, you could do that to like spread out the weight, right? So let's say, I still want to be like nimble and efficient and crap and whatever. I want to like move quickly and be able to get up and down obstacles. Um, but I also need a decent amount of resources here. The compromise is like, oh well, then get two, and it will actually spread out the weight and spread out your resources amongst the two. Um, the downside is obviously it's more expensive, right? You have to buy another wagon, and you need animals. You need draft animals to pull both wagons now. So, let's say you could get away with two oxen to pull one small. Now you're gonna need four to pull two smalls at least, and that's assuming none of them get hurt. You're probably gonna need five, right? What's this? 126, or well, yeah, so that's 60, and you're gonna need like ox yokes right? You're gonna need like a device to actually attach to the ox so that it can pull the wagon. Like I don't know. It's just been so interesting to me. It's cool that like kind of nothing is assumed. You know what I mean? Like you assume the responsibility, like as this team captain or whatever the fuck you are. You know, as this navigator. Uh, it's all up to you. It's all your decisions. Do I bring a gun? You know, it sounds like a great idea, right? But here's the deal: is that guns are expensive. One rifle, $22, dude. If you want a backup, you're looking at $44. 100 shots, yeah, sure. You know, one 25-pound keg of gunpowder and like a sheath, so I'm not losing. By the way, this is a lesson I learned. If you get these rifle or shotgun sheaths, you are less likely to lose your rifle or shotgun in the event of your wagon getting stuck in the mud or tipping over in a river or tipping over at a mountain or whatever. So for all these things, that's $60, man, out of my 440. Holy crap, that's a lot. So anyways, I'll wrap it up there. You guys don't need to, or at least you get the idea. There's medicines. Different illnesses have different cures. So what do you bring? Pro tip: medicine's cheap. Just buy every fucking one of them. I usually buy like 2 of each, because at the end of it, you only spend like $10. So why wouldn't you? Anyways, I don't know. It's just been so fun. It's been so fascinating to me to like learn all of these little like mechanisms just through playing the game, and running into obstacles, running into predicaments. And like, crap, what do I do? Like, and trying shit. I bought fishing equipment. Here, let's see, general store. Boom, boom. Go to tools. Right. So if you buy a fishing net, a fishing pole, and a fishing spear, then while you're like near freshwater rivers, you have a chance to like just randomly fish up, 20, 40, 50 pounds of fresh fish. And, hey, that can be a saving grace while you're out there. Is it worth the weight and like the cost of buying these fishing supplies to like maybe see a benefit out of it at some point? I don't know. Also, just while I'm here, spices. Because I brought up the fish. When you're like hunting, well, yeah, any like fresh fish or fresh meat that you get from hunting, if you have sacks of salt on you, 10-pound sacks of salt, if you just have these in your inventory when you get that fresh meat or fresh fish, and you have salt, it will then automatically get converted to salted meat or salted fish. Hey, I don't know, it's just cool. I just think it's so cool. It's so interesting. It's so fascinating, like how intricate this whole game is, and all these little unspoken, unwritten systems. You know what I mean? Maybe they are written somewhere, but I don't know. It's been a lot of fun to just learn the game through playing it. And yeah, and then to do like to experiment. Like, yeah, to go with a like, let's take this example that I have set up here, right? We have the small farm wagon, and I went as like a teacher. I have no money. You're gonna have to hunt. You're gonna have to hunt to provide for yourself. Every hunt you can get away with like at most like around 200 pounds of meat. So that's whatever. That's how you're going to be providing most of the food for yourself while you're out on the trail, is through hunting. So I would go out of my way to like, yeah, make sure that I have bullets, make sure that I have gunpowder. In this case, I would even buy 2 just so that you have a backup, just in case. I would definitely go with like oxen for the sake of this. Get like 3 oxen just because they're cheap. Chickens are incredible value. But you always want like as almost as many as you can get. 10 chickens because guess what? They lay eggs. They produce eggs every day. Milk cows will give you milk, but they are expensive, so not as crazy about them. Um, let's see. Spare ox yolks. You got to bring at least 2. Cool. Anywho, whatever. So, I don't know, and it's fun to play around. 12 plus hours per day, filling rations. Do you just book it? Like, do you go small wagon with 2 horses or maybe 3 horses and like absolutely no weight to just cover as much ground as possible, as short as possible? I've done that and completed the entire journey in like less than 4 months. And so the benefit of that is I didn't even see winter. I never saw any inclement weather aside from rain. Um, hey, which is a big up, because then like I barely spent anything on clothing. I didn't need any of these expensive winter coats. I didn't need any winter scarves. You know what I mean? I just bought like basic uh, boots, socks, and like pants. Whatever, pants, shirts. Anyways, I don't know. That's the whole thing. The whole game is just pros and cons. I've been having so much fun with it. It's been so much fun to like just experiment around, play around, try out different things. Yeah, and I don't know. I wanted to geek out about it. I haven't had anybody to talk to about it, so because it's fucking Oregon Trail in 2026. Who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares about this? Um, but it's cool. I don't know. Anyways, if you've never played it, try it out. Um, I don't know. You might get hooked. It's frustrating at first, but if you're like determined, if you're like, I'm gonna get to California, like one way or the other, then you'll give it a few runs, you'll fail a few times, but you'll like adjust. You know what I mean? You'll make adjustments. You'll be like, okay, I still had 2,000 pounds worth of food by the time I died. Like, I can obviously tone that down, and just that sort of thing. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. It's a cool game. Anyway, oh, also worth mentioning. You literally just Google Oregon Trail 2 or any of the Oregon Trail games. You can literally just play them online. You don't have to download anything. I went out of my way to set up like a virtual machine to play this on Windows 95. Nightmare. I don't recommend it. It sucks. It's cool once you have it set up, but it was days worth of headache. Not at all recommended. Just play it online. This version is unstable. It's very prone to like crashing, which sucks, but I'm here to tell you it's so much easier. It's so much easier than going that far out of your way. Also, let's just close this. Ready? Look, this is literally just emulating Windows 3.1. Oh, I guess you guys can't see that, but Program Manager. Can I resize that? Maybe not. No. Yeah. Look at that. I crashed Windows there. Anyways, yeah, whatever. I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, try it out. Try it out.